We're just going to take some time to recognize the truth of our being, to have a look at just what's here now. We're going to let go of grasping and needing to get anything, needing this moment to be any other way than it is. And in that, letting go of leaning forward, of grasping this mind-made self, this experience of separation. We've got chance to recognize what's already here, to rest back in the body, to open our focus, to drop down out of the mind, to drop down, down, down into our ground of being. And we use the physical body as a tool so we can just sense where we are. So we're dropping down out of the mind, down, down, down into being. And being is effortless. It takes no effort to be. So we're still rested down and in this space of just allowing what's here to be. We're recognizing the contact points of the body in the chair and the feet on the ground. And we're just feeling into those contact points. We're just directly experiencing those contact points. We're not using a mind to reference or commentate about what's here. We're just directly experiencing what's here. We're just aware of the sensations, of the sounds, of even the thoughts. And we're able to just be aware of them rather than needing to engage with them, create a story about what is happening. We're just directly experiencing what is happening. It's rested down and being. Or we can sense that this is a space of just being. And this space of being is actually impersonal. You know, there's no story here in being without jumping up to the commentator, to the story maker, to the identifier. So we're just rested down in direct experience of being. This is formless. You know, we can have a look. There's an area inside of the body and an area outside of the body. But can we find where the inside and the outside meet without going to a mind, without filling it in, without a concept or an idea, just directly experiencing? Can we find where the area inside and the area outside meet? Or is there no boundary? Are we actually, in reality, without a mind overlaying, commentating? Are we actually formless awareness? Just this ocean of being. And this ocean of being can experience a physical body, but it never becomes a physical body. It's actually impersonal. It can experience a personal experience, it can experience separation, but it can also remain as this ocean of being, because it never actually becomes anything. It's just an experience it has. So fundamentally, we are formless awareness. aware of the appearances, the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, all appear in this awareness. They come and go. But what doesn't come and go is this formless awareness, this impersonal ocean of being. Because this is always here. The thoughts can't be here without awareness of thoughts. So you're prior to the thoughts, prior to the sensations and the experience of separation. So it's just to recognize this. It's just to turn our attention to the foundation, to the ground of being, to this formless awareness, this still, silent presence in which the noises appear and disappear, even between my words, the silence in which they're arising. You are the silence, the stillness, the peace, the presence, the never-changing, that's aware of the ever-changing. You know, life is always going to be ever-changing, but what's not ever-changing is what you are. So in reality, when we turn and look, what we are is untouched by the ever-changing, no matter how it's shaping. We are that that's aware of the ever-changing. And it's to turn and look, to take our attention away from the ever-changing, towards the never-changing, towards the silence, the stillness, the presence. There will be an experience of leaving, but I'm offering that we don't ever leave. The presence, the silence is always here. It's just an experience this has. So we've always got the chance to just notice what's happening, to unplug from the mental, physical and emotional experience of an I, and recognize that this I that we are, this I am, this undeniable amness that we are, is not personal. That the experience that this I am can have is an experience of separation, an experience of a personal I, but it never becomes personal. This personal I doesn't actually exist, it's just an experience. It's made of thoughts, concepts, ideas. And those thoughts create an experience, and we identify with the experiencer. But in reality, there's no experiencer. They're just thoughts. They're just suggestions, invitations to experience. But who's being invited to experience? Who's getting pulled into a busy mind? Contractions in the body? Who? This formless awareness. There is actually only one player, one self, playing all of the games, experiencing all of the separate selves. It's just one. So it's to come back to this unbound, formless awareness, impersonal, unified self, and to recognize we never become the separate self. And this essence that we are, the reality of what we are, the truth of our being, is just this. It's just here. And it's always now. It's never at any other moment than being here now. Everything else is just an experience on top of this, a mental overlay, a separate self claiming what's happening. But in reality, there's just being here now, just being with the moment as it unfolds. And when we resist the moment, we pick up the idea of opposition, that we're against what's happening. So we've created separation right there with the thought. I don't like this. There's an I rises up that doesn't like something. but actually we can turn and look. There's something that's untouched. So we don't resist the moment. We don't create separation. We abide in being. We can also turn away from this ever-changing. As we rest here in being, we can turn away from the ever-changing towards this deeper sense of the never-changing, of this no self, of this just emptiness, open space. It's like an open, dark, inky black well of no thing, no actual thing. And yet this no thing can appear as everything, as it turns and lights up, projects its light into a world through a filter of duality. The world of duality is created. But it's just as if we're seated in the self and we pop this lens in front of the light of awareness and we get to experience a world of duality, but we never become it because we are the one behind the lens. We are the light that shines forth and creates this great display. This one light, this one self, creating this ever-changing world. So there will be experiences of separation, but we never become separate. We always remain as the ocean. And we can just notice that all the ever-changing, the thoughts, the feelings, the contractions of a separate self, the idea of separation, all appear in awareness. They have no power without awareness, because if there's nothing to be aware of them, they don't exist. So it's just how this one self creates many separate self experiences, but never becomes them. So we can see that this ever-changing world can shape and pattern, can create experiences, but we never become those experiences. We remain as this spacious, impersonal, vast, infinite space of being.